Hey everybody, my name is Rydo, and today we're playing 8BitBoy. Now, this game in particular is part of my Thanksgiving thankfulness month of November. So I'm playing games that I got for free ever since I started my YouTube channel. And so, because I got these games for free, for disclosure purposes, for explanation purposes, it's important to people that people know that and take that into whether they think my opinions are valid or not. Also, I'm going to go through all of these games just as long as I want to, and then that's kind of all there is going to be about it. Like, I'm not planning on particularly guaranteeing I'm going to play these all the way to the end, since it's a free game. A lot of these games I imagine people could also get for free if they just waited long enough. None of these games, however, as of yet, I've never accepted any free games directly from a company, but I have certainly gotten free games from Humble Store when they gave away free games to normal average people, things like that. Maybe there was a Twitter code or two where it was tweeted out to random general public people, but none of these are directly given, if that makes any difference. I have been offered once a game and I never responded to it because that's not something I want to do. Since this is a game that I got for free, and thus I have less motivation to really to cover it for as long of a time, I didn't do any real research. This does start off by saying this game is a love note to old school platformers, and 8BitBoy certainly implies that. I guess we're gonna play on normal. Insanely skilled gamers only. I don't think I include myself in that category. Also, wow, that is a lot of text. Take a moment to read this if you want to. My goal here is to get further ahead on my channel, so I don't want to spend a ton of time setting up settings on this game, on games for this month, for these free games that I go through. However, this one has already proven to be more difficult to record than normal, so there might be a black line on the bottom or the right of the screen because of cropping I had to do. Wow. This is a ton of text. It's kind of the programmer self-inserting himself. Let's just get to the platformer. Oh my goodness. Wow. That is a ton of text. If you're gonna have that much that much story, you need to really have somebody voice act it. That is no good. Long story short, if I can guess, it seems like he's just going to play his old 8-bit game and probably get sucked into it a la Captain N, which is a very old cartoon where someone was sucked into their NES. Man, this is way too much setup. And the graphics are... It's hard on a style of graphics like this to know if this is intentional stylistic and that's why it has a lack of detail, or if it's just that the artist themselves has lack of detail and that this is really just kind of like a project type, some simple game. Now he's walking to the tutorial without me, and we see that little disc. So, jumping world 1. So, one of my concerns when first playing this game is the idea that the controller, I'm using an Xbox One controller, might just be a little less than sensitive. There's some floatiness here, and yeah, there's no way to really change that. So, and the fact that there's loading in between this power-ups. Jump up from beneath a tile marked with this, pick up to gain the shooting ability. And so now I have shield and shooting. He is putting a kind of a spin on this. You know, I recently played Super Mario Brothers and in an emulator, and I am not sure if it was the emulator or if it was just that's how Super Mario Brothers runs, but it was sort of slow, sort of laggy, and I imagine it probably is just Super Mario Brothers 1 versus playing Super Mario Brothers 3, which is more of a fluid action. Of course, it's been, I believe, 30 years plus since Super Mario Bros. Came out, so that's kind of to be expected. Hold down space or X to run into a longer jump. Wait a minute, I'm hitting the X button and it's firing. Like, so X is fire and jump and run. That seems unfortunate. Like, all these 5 worlds less than the 8 in Super Mario Bros. And this is pretty much Super Mario Brothers, so this doesn't make sense. Why is the X button and the B button both fire and the A button do something and yet the Y button do nothing? And this feels like it's got more of a Angry Birds kind of feeling to it with the characters. Man, I cannot figure out how to run. Let's just do this. And now I'm green, which I guess gives me double. We now know there's secret blocks and a different kind of secret. Interesting. Apparently I just got an upper extra life. The problem with a game like this, and you can't fire down, so how do you hit something like this? You step on it. Okay, that would have been helpful if you had told me that, game. So does that mean I could have stepped on any of these enemies? I have 88 seconds, so it feels about the average minute and a half style of gameplay of time that you're given. You know, Super Mario Brothers. Ooh, that's way over there. Super Mario Brothers 3. We have some platforms that kind of just show up and you can jump through them. No, what is it? Super Mario Brothers 1 and Super Mario Brothers 3, I believe, were remade into improved versions for the Game Boy Advanced. And because of that, they added some capabilities to collect some more things. Ooh, that is quite the improvement. There's extra coins to collect. There's extra things to do. Apparently, I've got 13 seconds. And good thing that gate opened and there wasn't more to it. So your score bonus is kind of not even, is way higher focused on your time than picking up items. And while that might be interesting and that kind of makes this more of a race game instead of a collectibles game, it also suffers a little bit from that. It seems like there'd be something down here, like, and similarly it seems like there'd be something up here, but how can you get up there? Things like a double jump would be rather nice right about now. And we started. Okay. We found some of this. So that's a cool effect to reveal that. And we can kill the fish. But wasn't there something over here too? Can you really outdo Super Mario Brothers 1? Clearly this was a game that was made before like Mario Maker. They're certainly trying here. They're definitely giving it a run for its money, but no, having Mario Maker come out puts any game like this really to shame, because then you can, with the Mario Maker assets, sadly that's not on PC, but still, the official Nintendo Mario Maker ability to make levels, share levels. There's a few things it's missing, certainly, but it's certainly a lot closer than this is. Here, I'm in an interesting position because I have to wait forever. And the controls are not as smooth. There's been a lot of updates to this game when it about a year after it came out, from what I can tell. Well, I just got hit and I lost everything. Wow. So there's like a clear lack of understanding that I had on just how you even take damage in this game. It is Mario style that you have to have that improved ability to attack. I guess there is nothing actually under here. And you're already seeing a level of difficulty that I don't think you would normally see in Super Mario Bros. 1 or even 2 or 3. There's a level of ease that you kind of want to start with. Now I've ended up back here. I have 3 lives, 170 seconds. We were in this area about to find something. Oh, I guess I was holding on to that item and I could hit Y, so we know what Y does now. It is introducing a new idea. The idea of picking up a power-up that's actually kind of useless compared to what you would normally get in Mario 1. But it's a shield, so you can take one hit. You can see they're not doing Big Mario, Little Mario, or anything like that. 8BitBoy here stands the same. The funny thing here is a game like this probably could be very easily made with very little experience in programming. Even in some of the lesser likely engines, like you probably could make something like this in Unreal Engine 4 or Unity rather easily. So do I want to go forward or do I want to potentially die? Let's go forward. The game's saved. And then there's a long load to the level. Like, honestly, the loading here is the worst part. If you're gonna do a tribute to an old Nintendo game, one of the things you have to remember is Nintendo games ran off the cartridges, and for the most part there was no loading. So your much more modern take on the same game is failing to do something that again was available to be done 30 years ago without loading. And you're certainly not adding anything that is so complicated here. A game like this also suffers from something that would be easily overlooked by a programmer. These look too much like real animals. Part of Mario Brothers' abilities to catch the hearts and minds of everybody is that you're killing mushrooms and imaginary creatures. You're not killing realistic characters so much, except for the turtles, and I guess nobody really cared about turtles enough. But by modern standards, killing animals in a new game is something that you can only get away with through either having some tradition towards that, wow, or by just being rated M and going edgy. I really want this game to just speed through it. I want to always be running. I want to actually have a lot tighter control. You can see I'm dying a ton here, where if I was playing something with some tighter control, that wouldn't happen. And sure, maybe after a while I would be able to acclimate my fingers to this game, almost certainly. But I think more realistically, if I hadn't wanted to do at least 30 minutes on this game, I would have already been done with it. And I think this will probably be a very repeated theme in this month of free games. It's just games that were free because they aren't really worth paying any money for. Perhaps the creator of this game learned a lot from this and then they went on to make their next game. Perhaps the creator of this game did nothing. It's without doing any real research. Here's something. And yet I still died as I was trying to duck. I've seen a slight increase in the number of games that have been given away for free, particularly to promote the next game in a series. It sometimes works well. There is a growing trick where games given away for free, and then anybody who owns that game the next month is given a coupon on Steam. Well, apparently I can't land on those things. For like 30% off the next game in the series, which, okay, fair enough. That by giving away the game, you've created your mailing list to try to promote sales of your next product. Video game developers, in a weird way, kind of only care about their first month's sales or their first few months' sales. I think they're getting better about not thinking that way, but that certainly was the old way things have worked. Here's a question I don't know the answer to. Is this slicker than this? No, I don't feel any difference at all. So it seems just to be an aesthetic difference. There's certainly a system here of where they want you to go. But man, that is just cruel. I'm 5 levels, 5 worlds is probably too many at this rate. The birds have a tendency to, if they're on the ground, they have a tendency to jump at you. These guys, the bugs seem to just crawl. Wow. And it seems almost like they slow down when they're above me, or perhaps the platform I was on. Well, you can kind of already tell, and I don't think there's really much reason to even continue here. In 3 levels of this game, I've twice found a way to be kind of majorly stuck with difficult sections, dying in the same place multiple times. If this game is supposed to be Super Mario Brothers, it is horrible in that comparison. If it is supposed to be something like Super Meat Boy, which is a much better version of a platformer that is trying to... I guess I could have been grabbing this the whole time. So that would have saved me from 1 hit. Super Meat Boy is the super hardcore, difficult platformer with ledge grabbing abilities that makes it slightly different, but from Super Mario Brothers. But it's smooth and has tight controls, and it's like really one worth playing. Whereas this is just kind of in the middle. It's trying to pretend like it is really difficult intentionally, but my guess is that there was no intention to make the game difficult. It was just a lack of ability. Finally. And see, it would be nice if we could get to a boss and see what a boss looks like. Assuming there are bosses. 1-4. The enemies have different ways they seem to die. Seriously? The game's telling me to go this way. And you can't even look down to see what this is, so... And the snakes speed up on you, making the game even more difficult. And half the enemies start a mad dash towards your face as soon as you damage them. The targeting feels off. The idea of bouncing around the walls is an interesting idea, but it doesn't, I don't feel like it really does anything extra. Because if you were going to have the ability to bounce your bullets around the wall, you'd need to also pair that with the ability to aim your bullets. And I just don't. 1-5. And see, I just tried to use the extra thing I was holding on to and it didn't work. So but it disappeared, so I'm not sure what really that is. Does seem like you can pretty easily jump on everything. And it doesn't seem like things actually come back to life. And this is just going to 1-6. Like, how many of these are there? Are there 8 of them? Let's see. Can we find the map? Like a game like this, I'd want to be able to get so good at it I could just speed run. Let's see, world map. Come on, game. The mouse, on the other hand, if we come over to the keyboard and mouse, doesn't seem like it can do anything. Like, and I can't even see the world map apparently, unless there's some button. You have custom-made icons for the Xbox controller, Xbox 360 controller, which is not really necessary. You know, Microsoft gives out pictures of those for use for game programmers for free, as I understand it. It's not like you have to pay a license. So there we have it. We've given 8BitBoy the 30 minutes, probably more time than it really deserved, because I got this game for free. But as far as my library, I have a list of series that I've played, and that's where this is going. Games I'll just never play again. And there's just really nothing here. The animation isn't good. The audio is fine, but nothing amazingly special. The controls are not tight enough. There's no real interesting story here. This is just a Mario clone. It's worse than Mario Brothers. I would recommend just playing Mario Brothers. Mario Brothers 1, 2, 3. If you were going to do this and have that nostalgia. Or even if you were a new player who doesn't have the nostalgia for the original Super Mario Brothers games, develop that nostalgia on a good game instead of playing this. On the other hand, while this game is difficult, it doesn't feel like it's intentionally difficult. If you want something intentionally difficult, go play Super Meat Boy. I just don't think there's any room really in a video game player's life for this mushy middle game. You can practically guess they haven't even touched this game because they put the copyright as 2014, so it's not updating by itself, and nor is anybody bothering to update it. Well, that's it for 8BitBoy. On to the next one. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to further follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.